Part 4 of the Renault Clio saga, and there's been a cock-up. Can anybody guess what it is? On Tuesday night I was driving home from work, I turned a corner and all of a sudden the car oversteered massively and I slid across the road into a crash barrier. So I can only assume there's oil or diesel or something on the road surface, on the wet road. But this is the result. Broken headlamp and bent wing. So I'm just going to take the various broken bits off and have a look and see whether anything structural is damaged, whether it's made any difference to the suspension or steering geometry, and basically whether it's worth putting this right. So before I start taking any of this apart, I'm just going to have a look and see if I can see any sign of deformity anywhere around about the slam panel. And let's say I don't think that that's damaged at all. I think it might have missed this completely. I think the barrier went under here, so that all seems okay. Can't really look at the hinge area at the moment, so there's too much trim and such like in the way, but I'll get that off. And this top of this wing here seems to be still straight and in line, and it certainly all lines up properly with the door. So looking at the top of the suspension strut, what's that? Oh, it's a bit of trim that's fallen off. Top of the suspension strut here, there's no sign that that's in any way damaged. Can't see any cracks or wrinkles in the paint. So I think I might have got away with that. Time to have a look underneath. It's quite difficult to film underneath because I'm quite close to it, but looking under there, I've looked along this bottom suspension arm and this chassis rail here, and I can see no sign of any damage there. Obviously that leads up to the front bumper there, that's the bumper. All that seems to be nice and straight and in order. So whether I can get the camera in here, let's have a go. Can't quite get my head in as well. This is looking up to the back of the wheel and the McPherson strut, and in this area here I can see no sign of any deformity either. It's probably going out of focus, so I'm pretty confident that all that's okay. So I think the next thing to do is to strip off the bumper, bonnet and broken headlight and have a look in there. Okay then, so the bonnet's off and the bumper's off, as you can see, and I think I might get away with this. Just looking at this corner, the inner wing area is folded in slightly. There's a bit of a crease in this, what do you call this bit here, closing plate that goes from the inner wing to the front panel support, and obviously the wing's a bit stove in, but that's nothing very serious. But this slam panel seems to be straight, and just using the other side for comparison, I think I should be able to straighten that out. I don't think there's been any detrimental effect on the main structure at the front here, and the bit where the bonnet hinges to, whatever that's called, seems okay. So I'm going to have a go at straightening that and see what happens. I've managed to straighten out this side of the car to a reasonable degree. Use the other side to compare it. It's a bit raggy and messy, but it's the right sort of shape and there's nothing structural damaged. So I'm going to get a replacement headlight and beat out the damage in the wing, which isn't too bad. There's a little dent at the front there and on the corner of the bonnet, and I reckon we should be good to go. I'm going to have a look at straightening out the wing. There's a bit of a crease here where this part was bent over, and that's slightly pushed out when I straightened out the inner wing of the car. That's gone with it, but that still needs tidying up a bit. And the main problem is under here, where where that big crease is. So I could do with getting this line to continue along here, and then hopefully that'll straighten out this flange here where it fits onto the inner wing, and that should be sufficient to refit it to the car. Well, that's approximately the right sort of shape. It's not brilliant by any means, but hopefully that's good enough that the bits where it touches the inner wing should fit, and these bolt holes should line up. So I'm going to try and bolt that up to the car before I go any further with straightening this out. Apart from anything else, because this is so flimsy, it's quite difficult to hammer into shape. But hopefully once it's bolted onto the car, I can improve on that. This is the wing just held in place, and I can see that the holes at the bottom are close enough to line up. This top one here is close enough, I'll be able to get that in, and that's with the back edge just about in place. And in fact, I put the back bolt inside. I don't know if you can see that on the picture. There it is. Bolt in the middle of the picture there, which holds the back of the wing to the door frame. So I'm just going to put all the bolts back in and then see if I can bend the wing into its exact place. Okay then, that's the wing bolted back in place, good and solid. It's not far off the right shape, obviously I'll have to fill it a bit, but that front edge there is clearly not quite right. Looking at the other side, that's a good angle. There's a bit of a curve in there which I've lost, so I'm going to copy this side on a piece of cardboard and turn it over as a guide, and try and tap the other side out to match. Before I do that, I'm going to take the paint off the other side. Got a 60 grit flat disc on an angle grinder and power file to get into the corners, so I'm just going to whiz the paint off. I made a template on the near side of the car, which when it's turned round should fit the other side of the car. Now that I've straightened it out, and it's a bit difficult to show this, but it's not a bad fit at all actually. That curve's good enough, so with a skim of body filler should get away with that. So I've put a skim of filler on there, that's just going off at the moment. That's B38, allegedly easy sand, I believe that when I see it, but let's see how we get on with that. I roughly shaped the filler on the wing using a flat disc on the angle grinder, and then I found this really coarse disc which I used by hand just to get the profile approximately right. And I've gone over it with this abrasive pad, and that's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but it's the right shape to take the headlamp, it's the right shape to take the bumper, and it's approximately the right shape to be a wing. So I'm going to give that a clean off and just blow some primer over that, and then that'll be job done. Found a can of matte black paint, so I've sprayed that on. It's a bit closer to the green than the red oxide primer that I put on. That's alright, that'll do the job, good enough. And that corner of the bonnet I've straightened out as best I can with pliers and a hammer. I've not bothered to put any filler in that because the rest of the bonnet's in a bit of a state anyway. To be honest, I'm more interested in making a suitable sized and shaped aperture for the headlight to fit in and for the bumper to fit around than I am about cosmetics. So I'm going to have a look on eBay now, see if I can find a headlight to go in there, and hopefully I'll be back with a second-hand headlight, pop that in and get it all back together. Just having a look at the front bumper. Suffered a bit of damage over here, cracked there, that's scuffed, nothing serious, and I think there's a split over at this side. Yeah, might not worry about that one. But I'm more concerned about the mounting over here, which is broken off, and here, this is the subframe of the bumper, and at this end it's come away. If you can see, that's the plastic molding that holds it onto the shell, if you like. It goes into two tangs there, and I think I can get it back in those tangs. So what I'm going to do is drill straight through there and drill straight through there, and put a couple of bolts in that I've already found and lost again. Oh, no, some Allen head cap head screws. Put those through from the outside, and then I'll do something similar for this end to hold all that together. So it's not going to be an invisible repair, but I think this bumper's too far gone for an invisible repair, and this car doesn't warrant buying a replacement. I think I've succeeded in repairing the bumper. I've put some bolts through from the front here, and here and here. Where's it gone? There it is. And they go through into the subframe in the back there. So that's all good and solid again. Sorted out the various problems at this end. Not exactly an invisible repair, but there's a piece of aluminium riveted on the back of there. There it is. So that's holding that corner together. And here, where all this is broken away, well, I've bolted through that with those 4 coach bolts. 2 of them holding this top section on, and these 2 at the bottom are holding the bottom where the plastic tangs have ripped away. And additionally, there's a couple of rivets and a bit of a plate on the edge to hold that together. This bit here is a bit more tricky because this, where is it? This plastic piece here originally held the bumper mounting. Let's look at the other side there, and that had broken away, and I didn't feel very confident about trying to glue that in, so I've just used this bit of bracket that I've modified to fit in here, riveted that on with some long rivets through the end, through the side there, and that holds the original clip, which fortunately I'd still got. It was on the end of the screw in the wing, so I've put that back on there. So all in all, it's not exactly pretty, but at least it'll go back together and hold itself together, and you never know, I might blow a bit of black paint over there if I can be bothered. That's not my major concern at the moment though. I found the replacement headlamp on eBay. Amazingly, I won the auction for 99p, and it's a new unit that someone had bought and never fitted. Bare unit, so it's got the pivoting mirror in it, but it needs the adjuster, lamp holder for the indicator. What else? Side light. Oh no, side light's already fitted. So so those 2 items I need to harvest from the old broken unit, assuming that they're okay. Let's have a look. Broken one. Adjuster comes off bayonet style, and I think that's okay. Interestingly, that pivots into a socket, fits into a socket there and pivots. I wonder if when this was fitted to the car before, that wasn't in that socket properly. Might explain why my headlights wouldn't line up properly. I've got the, put that to one side for a moment, I've got the passenger unit here. Very interesting. That's not fitted in there properly at all. See if I can refit this. Ah, there we go. Ah, yes. So it looks like you have to take the lamp out and then hold on to the mirror through the lamp holder, I think. Yeah, hold that back, and then I should be able to fit the adjuster. Oops. That's a very tight. Whoops. Let's try that again. It's a very tight fit. Put that there. I might try and pull the lamp holder into it. That's got it. Must have heard that click there. Twist that into place. Ah, well, that seems a bit more like it. I might have solved a mystery there. Okay, then back to what I was doing. No, wrong one. Back to what I was doing, which was to take out the indicator unit from that one, twist and remove, and might as well take the lamp out of this one as well. Don't know whether that still works or not, but might as well keep that. Side light unit, but I don't need that, it's already got one. I'll keep that anyway. I think that is all of the salvageable pieces from that unit removed. So that can go in the rubbish. Brilliant, okay, and now to put these into the new lamp. So my method was to hold that shut. Wonder which way around that should go. Okay, so hold that shut, push the ball into the socket, don't think that's in, yeah that's in, and then twist into position. That's got it. Transfer the, could do with a better bulb, but that can be sorted in due course. Transfer that lamp holder over for the indicator. Got a side light. Did I check that it had a bulb in? Can't remember. No, it doesn't. Might as well just transfer the whole thing over from the old one. There it is. And I'll put that bulb in. I don't know whether that works, but I'll put that in anyway for the time being. And that's that unit ready to refit onto the car. I've put the near side headlight in and I've decided to fit it exactly where it's supposed to go without any of the packing under the screws that I put in last time, now that I think I've solved that alignment issue. Just working on the driver's side. I've replaced the, I think it's called a charcoal canister, this, where is it? There it is, underneath here. Which is part of the breather system, and while I was putting it in I realised that one of the inlet pipes was broken, so I've had to improvise a bit with of those joined onto what remained of the stub of the input side, but I suppose that should be okay. I'll pop that headlight in now. Driver's side headlights in. I had a bit of a struggle with this because this section here was a bit misshapen, didn't look like it, but it was slightly deformed, so I had to do a bit of levering and hammering. See if I've damaged the paint on the back of there, knocking that bit forward a bit and knocking this bit back a bit, generally wiggling it around, see where I've undone these bolts and retightened them on the wing top, and see where it's cracked there slightly. So it was a little bit of a struggle, but it's in, and it all looks to be lined up okay. And next job is to put the bumper on. It occurred to me that the damage that the bonnet sustained might mean that it might be a bit tricky to fit, so I decided to do that before the bumper. So what I found, what I did find was that it doesn't fit very well at this back corner here. That's quite a tight gap there, and the other side there's more room. That's better than it was. That's from me getting hold of those two top corners, getting hold of it here and twisting it against the hinge, so it's not a bad fit now. But also on this front edge here you can see the seal for the headlight poking through. Compare that to this one on the near side where the seal sits underneath. Now I've done everything I can to try and get this forward, but I think it's just down to the fact that this bit of the bonnet is bent, and the hinge mounting's probably bent as well. So I think I'm going to do two things. I think I'm going to pack out the hinges with some washers to try and bring the bonnet further forward, which should increase this gap here and hopefully close this gap here up a bit. And secondly, if I need to, I might have to bend this hinge down a bit. There's no adjustment and it's welded onto the car. So let's see how I get on. I've done three things. First of all, I've put some penny washers behind here. Probably just see that there. There's 2 penny washers under each one, which is as much as I could get without using up all the thread. And secondly, having done that, I pushed this corner of the bonnet over that way towards the near side of the car, and pulled up here, and that seems to have got it into a bit better shape because it now sits better in the catch thingy. And the third thing that I've done, which is a bit more drastic, because that although that improved it, didn't completely fix it, is to put this ratchet strap between the slam panel and the engine mounting, and I've ratcheted that up tight. That's pulled this whole section of the car backwards by good I'd say about 30 mil. Now that's still under tension, so I'm going to release that, and hopefully that won't spring back too far, and should have moved things into a more useful position. So I'll release that and then I'll show you the result. Taking the ratchet strap off, and it's sprung back a bit but not too far, so I'm just going to give that a try. That seems alright. Oh yeah, that's great. Let's check the other side. Yep. Well, that was a bit of luck then. I'm not going to do any more to that. That seems perfectly good enough, and I'm now going to refit the front bumper. That's the bumper back on, and mudguards back in place, everything else ready, and wiring connected, so that's all good to go. Not the most beautiful repair ever, but cost no money, so that's the main thing. Oh, so I lie, cost 99p for the headlamp. So that's good. I'm quite pleased with that. It gets me back on the road, and the only thing I've got left to do is realign the headlights, but it's the 21st of June today, and even though it's 7:30, the sun's still right up there, and behind that cloud. It's going to be getting on for midnight before it's dark enough to do that, so I think what I'll probably do is wait until one evening when I finish work, and I'll call in here and do it then.